My brothers and sisters in Christ, while today's gospel is an important passage to consider, I'd like to focus today on the first reading and the psalm that it's paired up with, as it marks another shift in the lectionary cycle. We've been reading recently from the first letter of St. Paul to Timothy. Now we shift back to the Old Testament from the book of Ezra. And this is a book that may lack context for most, but the books of Ezra and Nehemiah are historical books that deal with the return from the Babylonian exile. So where the books of Kings and Chronicles end with the collapse of the kingdom of Israel, so the Jerusalem falling, all the people are taken away into exile in Babylon, all is lost. But eventually the captivity comes to an end late in the 6th century BC. And so it begins in a very interesting way. As Jeremiah had prophesied how the exile would come to an end, and now we see the most unusual form of deliverance. It doesn't involve Israel springing free. It's not like from the Exodus, where the mighty acts of God, where they stand up to Pharaoh and escape, but instead they find help in an unexpected place, from Cyrus of Persia. So in the time that they were in exile, the Babylonians themselves were conquered by the Persians. And now the Persians, although they have no allegiance, obviously, to the Jewish people and are not of that religious background, King Cyrus proclaims that he's been called by God to allow this house to be built to God in Jerusalem. And so the decree of Cyrus goes out to let the captives free. The people of Israel released from their captivity to go back. And this is what the text of our psalm concerns, the great rejoicing of the captives being set free, jubilation and song to go home. And so the book of Ezra, as the book of Nehemiah, Ezra is as a priest, Nehemiah is a secular governor. And so the books of Ezra and Nehemiah, from two different points of view, deal with the return from captivity, the rebuilding of Jerusalem and the temple. And so we hear in these words today, to start Ezra's book, the decree of Cyrus to let the people go home. And to me, this is noteworthy for us, aside from just of historical interest. It reminds us, the old adage is that God works in mysterious ways. In this case, deliverance and help comes from an unexpected source. People of Israel would have never expected that a Persian emperor would be the one to help them get back home and to begin to rebuild. And so God constantly, as another adage says, writes straight with crooked lines. That is, all of humanity is fallen and sinful. All of us, to lesser and greater degrees, sin against God, stray from his ways. Those who seek to follow him in fullness of heart stay close to him in our imperfection, while others, veer in more radical ways away from God. And yet God is constantly at work with the mess that is the human family to work for our good. And certainly in the story of salvation, God has used very surprising instruments at times to bring about the good. And so, even to this present day, we need to always keep an open mind and open eyes, that we're very quick to judge those who are good and those who are evil in a very permanent, static way. Certainly, we can judge the actions of people as good and evil, but no one is hopeless. As long as there is breath in us, not only can God bring about great conversion, but also God can work through unexpected people. And so we need to keep our eyes open for where the Spirit moves, where God is at work, and realize that assistance from on high may come in unexpected form from the person you least expect. And therefore we need to rejoice in that and not cut ourselves off in a sense of pride or haughtiness, as we are sinners ourselves, that sometime the person that we would be quick to judge may be the one that ends up coming to our aid. May God bless you all.